95% of the people that my wife and I meet here in Brazil, they always ask us, why are you in Brazil? Why don't you go back and live in the UK? It's a bit annoying, do you know what I mean? I'm kind of tired of trying to explain that Brazil isn't really as bad a place as you're making it out. What's up guys? This video is purely about the cost of living in the UK. Obviously the subject is very broad and I can only talk about my experience. I don't want to discourage anybody from wanting to move to the UK. I don't want to discourage anybody from going on holiday to the UK. This is purely just my opinion. I just want to show the reality of living there. Obviously I lived there for 28 years and basically I've seen a lot of videos online, mainly of Brazilians, where people are glorifying life in Europe or life in the Northern Hemisphere. It kind of annoys me because these people are clearly covering up the fact that they are struggling, really, trying to live in the UK. So I just wanted to show a bit more of a real side to being in the Northern Hemisphere, whether it's the US or Canada, Europe, the UK. I just wanted to show a bit more reality. My message to these Brazilians would be that your country really isn't that bad and you're not missing out on that much. I understand that there's a lot of opportunities there, but generally you're not missing out on a lot. So yeah, let's get into the video. Whether you're planning a holiday to the UK or you're planning to live there, you can save a lot of money and you can also save your mental health if you stop having this mindset that you need to move abroad to have a happier, better life quality. So let's get to it. Let's get to the video. Okay, so this is below average, bare bones living. I'm not talking about schools, I'm not talking college, health, leisure, like the gym, none of that. Just talking about bare bones living. First up is rent. Now, back in the UK, I was lucky enough to be living with my parents and they asked me to pay £200 a month. If you want to live in the city or just outside the city, just to have a tiny little bedroom, a single bedroom in a shared house with a shared kitchen, a shared bathroom, a shared life, you're looking at about £125 a week. That's straight away £500 a month. That increases very quick. If you're looking for a big bedroom with a double bed, your own bathroom, you're looking at £700 to £1,200. It really depends on whether you're in the north of England or the south of England, London, Manchester, and also if you're actually in the city centre or just outside. Depends what you want. It really fluctuates. I asked a couple of friends what they spend. This guy lives in Leicester, which is in the middle of the country, and this guy lives in the south of England, just outside of the city. Food. So food is difficult because everybody's different. I was very lucky. My parents used to cook me dinners. When I would get home from work, I would have a nice hot meal because they were cooking for themselves. I was only really spending money on breakfast, lunch, snacks, and anything extra that I wanted. And I managed to get this cost down to about £20–25 a week. If you're going to be spending on dinner, then obviously it's going to boost. You're looking at about £150 a month. Remember, this is bare bones. This isn't extravagant at all. Really simple protein bars, beans, tuna in a can. Simple stuff. Travel. Now, travel depends where you work. If you need a car, if you're going to get the bus, if you're going to take the train. I used to have a car to get to work and I spent about £200 a month just keeping this thing on the road, and that wasn't enough. Like, you've got tax, insurance, general maintenance, petrol. And when I bought this car, it was great. But by the time I came to sell it, I sold it at a big loss because I just couldn't keep up with the cost of maintenance. Having a car is expensive. If you buy a monthly bus ticket in London, that's £80. If you need to get a train ticket, £200. If you have this thing in your head that you want to explore the UK, you're going to need to get a train ticket. London to Manchester, £40, £50 a ticket. I went on tour with my band a couple of years ago. The train tickets up and down the country, all around, was extortionate. It's really not cheap to jump on a train. So don't let people make you believe that it's cheap, because it's not. Bills. So gas, electricity, water. In Brazil, we don't have to pay for water. UK, you've got to pay for it. Internet, mobile phone. If you need a TV, that's £150 a year. The cost of these bills really depend on how you are as a person, whether you leave the heating on full blast all the time, or if you're actually a smart person and you're trying to save your money. A rough average I'll put up on the screen now so you can see all the different costs. And yeah, you just have to be smart about how much you're spending. So to summarize everything, bare bones living, very basic, very simple, shared bathroom, tiny single bedroom, in a shared house, shared everything, with low to average meals, in maybe an apartment or a house just outside of the city. So these bills, if you're lucky enough, well, no, these bills are shared. So we can assume those bills are going to cost around £50 a month. An average phone bill on top, maybe £25. It depends. If you have a new phone, it's going to be expensive. If you have an old phone, it's going to be cheaper. £25. So grand total, £805 a month. Let's call it £800 a month. This is funny because I used to work in a minimum wage job as a lifeguard, sitting by the pool for 30 minutes and then cleaning the pool for 30 minutes. Your lifeguard is like, I never saved anybody. You're a glorified cleaner. You're just cleaning the leisure centre. It's not a good job. This was minimum wage and I was earning £920 a month after tax, after insurance, after the government takes everything from you. Into my pocket goes £920. And this was a full-time minimum wage job. I was obviously lucky to be living at home with my parents, but I did have a car. I did have to drive to work. So these bills kind of equal out. The point is if you can actually find a minimum wage job in the UK, you can live in a single bedroom shared house with a shared life. It's possible, but you'll be there forever because you can't save. If you're lucky to get a pay rise, then you're just going to spend that extra money. You'll be so happy that you've got some extra money, you'll spend that to go off traveling, to check out the rest of the UK, or to have a night out, like one extra night out in the month. This is the point. Like, you've got this minimum wage job, you've got a tiny little bedroom, you haven't even been out for a drink, you haven't even been out to the cinema, to go bowling, to go on a date. You haven't done any of this stuff. When it comes to going out, whatever you do in the UK is going to cost you £20. Every business is out there to get at least £20 out of you. If you go to the cinema, you buy your ticket, you're going to probably buy a drink, maybe a snack as well, £20 just to be safe. If you go to the pub, a pint, £4.50, a cocktail, £10, depends where you are, £10. A night out, easily £40. And then you have to think about the day after. You're hungover, you can't be bothered to go out, so you call up for a delivery, 20 quid. If you can find that minimum wage job, then all of your money will be gone instantly. All of your money is gone. If you're super smart you never go out and you're really careful with your money, you can save, but you will struggle. I personally tried to save for 2 years. I was like, I'm going to do this. And I saved and I saved and I saved for 2 years. And I managed to save £600. And I had worked so hard that I spent that £600 on a holiday. Like, just to save myself the stress to go get some sun. And that was it, all of my savings. 2 years, hard work, gone. Yeah, like, obviously, if you're super smart and you have qualifications, you've got degrees and everything, then this is a different situation. The opportunities are far greater. But without being rude, without discriminating against anybody, you are a foreigner. And British companies like to employ British people. They will choose a British person before they choose a foreigner. So you have to be aware of this fact. I know a lot of software developers and software engineers who have done quite well working in the UK, but they have secured jobs previously in their home country. Brazil, I know a few people from Brazil who have secured working contracts in Brazil. The company has said, okay, cool, come and fly out to the UK, you can have your job. That's a very different situation. So yeah, England is expensive, like mega expensive. I might make another video about my living costs and expenses here in Brazil, but I can tell you now it's about 2,000 Brazilian real less. And here we have a 2-bedroom flat with a nice kitchen, 2 bathrooms in a nice area. We've got amazing beaches, amazing weather, amazing people. We've got everything that we need here. And I'm spending 2,000 real less. I'd also like to add that I'm freelancing. I don't have my own boss. I can take a break whenever I want. Very different situation here in Brazil. Like I say, I understand there's opportunities in England. But yeah, think about it. We went for sushi the other night. And it cost about £12, 12 UK pounds for an all-you-can-eat sushi. It was amazing. We had like 55 pieces of sushi. In the UK, if you go to a sushi restaurant, you order about 10 pieces and it's cost you like 20 quid. The cost of living is so expensive. So yeah, you do the maths. Let me know what you think about this situation. And if you want me to do a monthly breakdown of my spending in Brazil, let me know. Put it in the comments below and I'll do that. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you an insight into life in the UK. And yeah, like I said in the beginning, try and remove this mindset that life is so much better in the Northern Hemisphere. Life in Brazil is really good. You have a fantastic country here. Stop thinking that if you move abroad, then life is better.